Hey guys, watch till the end of the video for the 4 steps I left behind for breaking cycles. Hi guys. Hello. How you doing? Where? I hope you guys are having an amazing transition during this time. A lot of changes happening, and yeah. Those of you joining me for the first time, or rather viewing me for the first time, my name is Angela Acheng, or Sarah Angela Acheng. Odhiambo is my dad's name. And yeah, so this is me, this is my channel. I talk about my spiritual awakening, spiritual journey, or rather, after my story with depression, anxiety, and addiction. Yeah, I decided, you know what, Adonai, I have something to share with the world. And God was like, yeah, you better. And I was like, yeah, daddy, I will. So here I am. And yeah, I feel happy to be here. Because at times, really honestly, this is normally like my safe space. I don't know why. Because I get to do something I love. So you guys will forgive me for today. When I was getting the message for today, I had to write it down. Because my mind is a bit off the hook kidogo. My family right now is going through something, and it has got the best of us, some of us, okay, all of us. And yeah, it's not something I can share right now, but the family is really in need of your prayers at this time. So thanks. Anyway, you guys, today I am going to talk about ending cycles. Ending cycles. I don't know if you've ever found yourself in a cycle of anything, be it a cycle of debt, be it a cycle of toxicity in a certain relationship, be it a cycle of addiction, a cycle of having a not so good relationship with someone, either a family friend, a member, someone, just being somewhere and you really can't, it really drains you. Okay? Whatever the situation is, it drains you. Remember, we're talking about financial and eating habit. I don't know if I've mentioned I was sipping some concoction. I'm also trying to lose weight. So yeah, even weight. Okay, just a toxic cycle, poor eating habits. You're just in a toxic cycle. And so that's what we're going to discuss today. Or rather, I felt like I needed to share with you people my thoughts on ending cycles. Wasn't an easy journey for me, and I learn every day. And let me tell you something. As much as I've written these points, I feel like I will not even look at them, but let's see how it goes. Cycles can be really, you can pray, especially when you recognize a cycle and you want to change it. You can really pray. You can really pray and pray. And if you're not having the proper guidance, you will shindwa kwani God is really not answering this prayer or what's really happening. And what I came to realize in my journey was, or rather what I came to vision in my journey was, okay, your English, it may sound too not okay, but whatever. What I came to understand in my awakening was during a cycle, you have to first identify that this cycle, there'll be a point of recognizing the cycle. Okay, it's more or less like depression. Someone will have to come to the realization of, hey, yo, I'm not okay. Okay, so there'll be signs present. If it's an addiction, at some point, let me tell you, drinking can be of two kinds. And that's why I keep on telling people, there's a drinking of you're depressed. There's a drinking that it's no longer a social kind of drinking. There's usage of various substances that is just someone is doing it for fun. But there's normally no really for fun. People like sugarcoating things like as if for fun. I'm just doing it for fun. There's no fun. Your subconscious is running there for a reason. I'll tell you this. I had an opportunity to be exposed to coke one time when we were young, right after high school, with a very close friend of mine, but she's deceased. God rest his soul. And I always remember I was always the type who would like to explore things. But this one, I was really not feeling it. And as much I was really not feeling it, but my best friend already had tried, and she came and she was like, yo, sweetie, this one. And for some weird reason, the way she felt and looked at that point, I was like, hey, yo, kwani are you exaggerating? As in, at the time you're young, naive. But one thing I really thank God for is that she said no. And the guys who had given her, I was like, can I try? She was like, no. And for me, I never used to take no for an answer when I really wanted to try something. And I remember, I think, all the points I tried, everything I've ever used. I remember every first time. But there's normally nothing for fun. There's always something deeply rooted in the subconscious, in your DNA, somewhere. It's either genetic, and these patterns, you can recognize them through generational patterns. You can, if you go to the root of something you feel like it's not really part of you and you want to change it, I kid you not, it's never far from the apple tree. The apple never falls too far from the apple tree. It is right under you, your generation, your DNA. And something that really, for me, spirit normally shows me when you're talking about DNA, whether you take it or you don't. DNA is more or less your ancestors. Because we all know how much and how long your DNA can trace generations that were there before you. So instead of looking at this thing like on a lighter point of view, because come on, it goes as deep as even bringing up physical manifestation of what you look like. Some of us take after our grandparents, some of us take after our parents. You look like you resemble someone. And it is a genetic representation of that person, which means that person's part of that person is in you. Okay? It is in you. That is why whenever you're fighting, and I keep on telling people, whenever you're dealing with something that you feel is deeply rooted in you, your generations, your ancestors, you people are also involved in that, in a lighter point of, for people who don't understand spirituality, to bring it on a lighter surface, is that you're already doing what that great grandparent was doing. To start with that, Doone, it's that strong. Your grandpa was a drunk. Your great grandpa was a rapist. Your great grandpa was a murderer. Your great grandpa was polygamous. Your great grandpa was like this. And you find yourself in between this. And let me tell you, you will find yourself following that track unconsciously. Your parent, the mistakes they did, you might find yourself in that cycle of almost repeating the same shit. And the moment you realize and you know these people did this and this, before you even come to the realization that you're going down that hole as well, you'll have judged at some point. Like, I don't want to end up like nani, ama mtu alikwambia akakuon and it got into your mind. You know, don't mess like that. I'm gonna mess like this and this and this, and it turned out like this. People in this lineage do this and this and this. It's something that is there. Once you get that, it already gets like darkness in you gets light and it comes to the light. There's a problem. There's a cycle. I don't like it, but it seems like I'm going down the same hole. For such people, many people struggle and fight. Let me tell you, I was one of them. I fought for days, battling down on my knees, wanting to break generational curses and traumas and cycles. I was on my knees. There are no prayers I did not pray. And I normally felt like God was just seated somewhere and looking at me like, my lovely baby, I love you. I'm here. I'm here. You know, you're praying and someone's like, I'm here. You're praying but someone's like, yo, I'm here. Until it came to the realization of, yo, there's this secret I'm willing to share. Part of breaking any karmic cycle that many people will not tell you is going through that cycle. Sorry, I had to pause for a minute. Yeah. So, part of it is like going through that cycle, but with a different mindset. Because you cannot, I don't know if you've ever had that, okay, me hata sikufanya physics, but I know that energy cannot be changed. Can it? Changed or transmuted, something, you know. So, there's a way, energy cannot be destroyed. Thank you, angels. Energy cannot be destroyed, but it can be transformed. My spiritual guides wanakonga wako radar. So, yeah. And you find that every other time you will go to, and that thing will show up. I kid you not. It will show up, and you're there thinking, why is this thing happening? God is not listening. Tumepigana hii vita for years. You sit through it with a different mindset in terms of, okay, you know what? In the process of sitting through it, self-love will be involved. Of course, yeah, self-awareness, acceptance. Of course, now you're accepting the situation. This is how it is, you know. But now, once you start self-loving yourself, you start having compassion and kindness for yourself. Like, okay, you know what? This is the situation. I don't like how I'm not in control of my alcohol. I'm not in control of whatever I'm taking. And yeah, it's not really what I want for me. Okay, But you know what? I've been weak at some point. This self-talk is also key. What are you talking to yourself about the situation? Are you being kind to yourself? Are you harshly judging yourself? Are you harshly, are you being uncompassionate to yourself? Now that's where we talk about you can't fill someone else's cup when your cup is empty. Or rather, the 10 commandments, they will sum up to love, and which you're told you can't love your neighbor unless you love yourself. So love your neighbor as you love yourself. So self-love is like really key. And self-love, I think I've spoken about it in a previous video again. It's not about taking yourself out and sujui what and sujui nini and all these outside things people do for themselves. Self-love is also a part of like really loving yourself inside. And when you mean loving yourself inside is like, that's why now we come up and set boundaries. That's why we come up and say, you know what? I won't allow myself to have this feeling. Because some people, let me tell you something. I've been through addiction, and when I tell you at times unafika your base and you don't want to be in your base in the first place. At times it's like you perambulated all the way there unconsciously. As in, to be for real, yani you just felt like you were idle, didn't have anything to do, but some part of you just really wanted to go. And before you stop and think why were you there, you're already there. You ficad, the mind can be really funny. But once you're there, now you're seeing everything that you really don't like about that place. Or why did I drink this alcohol in the first place? Why am I even taking this shit? Once you get to that point, it's already a good step. Then there's this part of, what? I'm fighting with myself. There's a part of me that wants to go there. There's a part of me that doesn't want to go there. Now sit down with this part of you that wants to go there. Ask yourself, okay, fine, sweetie. And most of the time it's childhood you who is definitely always running away from something, or you've always been programmed that when you can't handle something, you can't talk about something, you run to something that will help you take away that emotion or deal with it. You don't sit down with your feelings. Ask yourself, fine. Me, at times, let me tell you something, especially when it came to one particular addiction, of which it took me a cycle, because every time I was really stressed, I would run to smoke. I'd really want a cigarette at that point. I'd really want a cigarette. And it was crazy because at some point I was like, after the first puff, I'm like, why am I really doing this? And it got to a point, now I had to sit with that urge. Like, okay, it's an urge. You're just an urge. Sawa. I even at times feel that sensation I normally felt after smoking. Like, so you want to feel like this. Yeah, fine, it's relieving. And then I sit down with that feeling. And the last time I had to sit down with that feeling was not really long ago. And that one, what led to that, I'll talk about it maybe in another video. But I came to a point whereby now sitting with that emotion for real, and then looking at the situation that is making me want to run and smoke. At that time, you've already been shown, God has shown you all the dangers, leave alone even the physical aspects of effects of cigarette smoking, but even the spiritual impact it has on you. Ushaonyeshwa. God is a God of compassion. I would be like, God, I'm weak. Until I started also changing my prayer, like, God, give me strength. You get to deal with this thing. And at that point when I feel like, because for me right now, I'm at a point where I really don't see what would really take me back. Because I think I've dealt with the dealings of the dealings that really, the things that almost broke me and tore me apart. And I came out of it at that point of something that really tore me apart. And I was looking at cigarettes like, you know what, I'm not going down that hole again. I'm not going down that hole again. And at that point of sitting with that emotion, you like literally sit with that feeling. Unasikia kwenda, it's like you feel like you want to go and pee. Ebu feel that sensation and don't pee. Feel it. Dance hapo. And I would sit and just be with that stress. Like, you know what, because at time now you're fighting, your body, it's like the waters are really not, it's really now stormy inside you. One part wants to run to cigarette, another part wants to run to, try and fix this thing, and another part is like, be still and listen to my voice. So I look at all these situations and you just sit with that emotion. Like, you know what, at times you even like tell yourself now, use a self-talk. Like, I know now you there, you want to stand up and say you want to go and smoke a cigarette. Okay. It's a thought. It's a feeling. Okay, I won't stop you from feeling that, but I will not respond to that feeling like that. So you don't always have to respond to your feelings and emotions all the time. Just because you're feeling angry, it doesn't mean you should not feel angry, but you don't have to go and stab someone on the ass because you're angry. So for me, that cycle came to your point, and I came to realize that, let me see if there's something I have mentioned. Yeah, I did the inner work. And inner work involves like being true and honest to yourself. I keep on saying that thing in every other video. What triggers you? What triggers you? If you want to notice, there's a cycle. This cycle will always repeat itself, and there'll always be two triggers. If it's someone who pisses you off or you keep on fighting with this person, there'll always be, if you notice the cycle, you'll notice there'll always be either something was said when they say something or when they do something, and then now you use that one as your biggest weapon of breaking down the Goliath. Why am I angry when so-and-so says this? Why do I feel agitated when so-and-so does this? I'll say one lesson, I'll give an example on this one. And I really felt so bad because I had been going through a cycle. And I always thought for some reason it was the people I used to date. Like something would just come up but no. The rude awakening, or rather the sweetness of the awakening of the rudeness, was that I came to realize it was always me at some point. And I'm not like blaming myself, no. I'm not feeling guilty, no. But I just accepted that I had some level of toxicity as well. And there's a way I responded to things or conflicts in my personal relationships that I always thought it was, the third person or the outside person. And yet, it was me. Okay, there's that character I had developed that was false. And I would find myself jumping out of every hot bus that came along. Okay, kuna kitu kama hot bus, whatever. But every burning issue, I would always be quick to. And always thought like, like, but it was a toxic cycle that was not really the other party related but me. And the awakening was really funny because, like I told you, when you need to do some healing, hakuna shortcut. Acha niwaambie sahi, there's no shortcut. You may think it has occurred, and they always say there's this saying that says what you don't deal with will deal with your children, your great grandchildren, like that. Deal with something and literally deal with it in terms of sit with yourself at your worst moments, especially when you can't change something. And when you sit with yourself there, by the kind of level of clarity that will come in after that, utafikiri umefanya magic. Now that is alchemy. Once you sit down and really sit down, like, you know what, fine. It even goes as crazy as you don't have rent. And everything seems to be falling apart. Sit down with yourself. Fine. Acceptance is key. Yeah. You know what? This is what is happening right now. Importance of being in the now. I think I've mentioned in a previous video, importance of being in the now. Now, this is what is happening. Yes, I know my God is in control. I know my God is a big, big, big God. I know all this. It's a backup system you have. But key, you have accepted this is what is happening. Because ukikata situation, you're in denial. As much as you believe like God will change things, but ukikata situation, you're in denial. And you will be depressed. And you will go into anxiety and other things and think that God is a failure or God is not a God of time. So acceptance is key. And then I think, what have I forgotten? Is there anything I've forgotten? Yeah, so once you've come to the realization of, fine, this is the thing, what do I want to change in a situation? And again, I mentioned change inazanga from within. By changing mindset, deciding now to set a boundary, deciding now to change the thought you've linked to that situation or the feeling you've linked to it. If it is wewe unachukianga tu when this and this happens, now you stop, you go through that thing and you stop chukiaring that thing. Fine, this and this is happening. Nani spoke like this to me. It really hurts me every time she speaks like that. But you know what? Today, because I will not control an outside situation, but I can always control my boat. So, my ship will sail like this, because I'm the sailor. So you'll respond with your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words, but I'll choose not to respond the way the universe or people in the world are programmed. Amekutukana hivyo na unanyamaza tu. Simpige. You know, just because Nani has said this and this and the world knows like it's supposed to be like this. Now you change that supposed to be like this and make it be something different. That one will be a breaking cycle broken that is deep and divine into your DNA, because now it will change your perspective and these things will probably not even follow your children. That's how we break cycles. Okay. So yeah, another thing is after that you listen to your intuition, because that's how the divine or the God speaks to people. So most of us ignore intuition. You ignore, you think, now you're responding out of fear, or we're going to tell you something, you're not responding to it because you feel like that one is not the way it's supposed to be. Or there's nothing good about this situation, Okay. Something is telling you, relax. This situation is not as bad as you think, but you're like, excuse me. God, there's nothing in my account. I don't even know how I'm going to do this. How do you expect me to just be calm and be like, you know what? Okay, let's break generational cycles of poverty when we're sitting down and accepting that, okay, fine. Yeah. And then when you've accepted, your mind is clear, now you can think of an action that you will take to try and break the cycle. If it's a behavioral change, if it's someone will ask for help, if it's that we're willing to break the cycle. So I don't want to do something long because again, sitaki kushinda kuedit. I had bought a ring light, but Jumia nilibuy kitu fake. Nilirudisha. I had to return that thing. Oh my God. I'm learning things these days by then. My confidence is getting higher as well, because normally I would not have bothered to return that. I just dealt with the bad thing I had, the poor quality. But yes, I returned it. So you guys, if you made it this far, thanks for watching. I love you, and please make sure whatever you do, always try to self-heal. As much as we can always seek for spiritual guidance outside, don't ignore the power of self. The power you have to change and break cycles when you go inside and you go within. Don't be afraid of yourself. So, when a cycle is there, the person who has the greatest power to change that situation is you. Yeah, and it can change within hours, minutes, or years. It's just your choice. Thanks for watching, guys, and don't forget to like, don't forget to share, don't forget to subscribe. And if you feel like you want to share about what cycle are you going through that you really feel like you really want to break it and it's not you. You know the things you really know deep inside you that it's not you, and you're not compatible with that situation, and you feel like your legs are tired. There's nothing you can really do about it. But deep down inside, you know you don't want it. It's a thing, and yeah, you can break it. So if I inspired you in any way, thanks for the guys who reach out and tell me I've been an inspiration in their lives. I love you guys, and I keep praying for you. May all your unhealed wounds be healed. May you receive healing in every trauma you've been through. May the good Lord guide you during this time. And yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And don't forget to like, share, comment. Yeah, if you have something to share, drop down. If you want something clarified for you, or you feel like you need me to talk about something, don't hesitate. Comment hapo chini. I love you guys. It's kawaida 1 something a.m. Yeah, I'm off to bed. I love you guys. Good night. Depending on whatever time you get in this video.